Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're going to be talking about the biggest mistake you've ever made in Grand Theft Auto Online that's cost you millions of dollars. So this is a discussion post that was made by Doc Noob on the Grand Theft Auto 5 Reddit, and this video is going to be all about you guys getting involved in the comments section. What has been your biggest mistake in Grand Theft Auto Online that's cost you a ton of money? I'm going to be reading off some of the things that certain individuals have said, and then I'm going to do mine at the end of the video. All right, so a lot of the comments I saw, and this was a big one, this one was buying a yacht. And I'm kind of in the same place here because the yacht on the outside looks incredibly cool. And then you just find out that it's really like a $7 to $10 million water spawn location with a couple of vehicles that can, be spawned on there like helicopters and boats and whatnot. There's just a giant lacking of features with the yacht. Number one, you can't drive it or pilot it or steer it or whatever the case is. Now, I don't think it would make sense for us to have drivable yachts. Could you imagine how crazy that would be? It'd be like bumper cars on the water. But you know how we can move our yacht from location to location? Why can't we enjoy the yacht while it's moving? That would be so cool if the yacht was moving and we could still be on the yacht enjoying some of the other features. Instead, it's just a cutscene and that's it. And I think that's kind of dumb. I also think there's a ton of features that are lacking, like unique features, maybe the ability to start heist missions or other types of missions on the yacht. I think they missed the opportunity to have submarine storage and other Pegasus vehicle storage on this vehicle. So yeah, I can understand that. The yacht doesn't have enough cool things on it for the price. Now, with all that being said, the most expensive yacht right now is actually 75% off, the Aquarius, which does make it a little bit better. So if you're like on the fence about the yacht, you really want one, you might have the money, but the regular price is just too much, well, now might be the opportunity to buy something like that. But definitely on the yacht, that is a big mistake. Now, kind of building off of this, another commenter on this thread said they bought a yacht on their second character by accident. So they had to buy another one on their main account. That is a huge mess up because there's no like refunds for something like that. You bought it and I don't think there's any way to go back and, get your money back. So that is a huge mess up right there. If buying one yacht is bad enough, having to buy two is really unfortunate. I saw one comment that was selling all my old cars because I was low on money, then buying them again after getting all my money back. Man, that is a brutal comment right there. But I think all of us have maybe been there at one point where we've sold a couple of cars, but selling all of your old cars, maybe to get some of the new items, that just seems like a huge bummer to me. So hopefully none of you guys are having to go through with that. Another user, TruckU666, says, I spent $1 million on the dump truck. And I can kind of see why this might be a mistake because the dump trucks do spawn like in various parts of the map. But then getting them to, maybe a more desirable location would be a little bit troublesome. So I'm not too sure. I spent $1 million on the dump truck and I've had enough fun with it, for the couple times that I've used it, that it isn't a horrible investment. But yeah, $1 million for a big, slow dump truck, that might be one of the biggest mistakes some players have made. This next comment from Where's the Bloody Apex isn't necessarily a one purchase item, but he said, I let a friend play on my account while I went to bed. He proceeded to spend every last cent of my $4 million on God knows what. I think he ran around modding random cars or buying clothes. And he says, it's like real life. Being broke after you've been rich makes the game so lame. And I think we've all had that instant where either a friend comes over or someone else gets on our account and they don't really necessarily understand how the game goes like we do since we play it a little bit more. And so they're just spending money left and right. And this is also one of those scenarios where it's kind of hard to prove that you didn't mean to spend that money with someone like Rockstar Support. So hopefully your friend was able to pay you back or did a favor for you or something like that, because $4 million is a lot of grinding, or at least it's a pretty expensive shark card or two. All right, up next, a zombie riot said, buying the Valkyrie. Regretted it 5 seconds after purchase when it got blown up by one rocket. When in the heist, it took multiple rockets to blow up. Was immensely disappointed. So that is a little bit misleading. And that now that we have a couple other helicopters in the game, like the Savage and the Buzzard, even though we've had that since day one, and now the recently added Hunter, the Valkyrie is one of those helicopters that really doesn't stand up because you have to have other players in it to end up using the weapon. weapons. So that's a little bit unfortunate right there. Rob Tomic says, buying the Rhino tank, worst purchase ever. And I might agree with that considering all the other vehicles we have in the game. The Rhino tank is kind of outclassed when it comes to other weaponized vehicles like the Oppressor or the Vigilante or the Ruiner 2000. I mean, it's probably one of the slowest vehicles we have in the game. As far as it firing at other players, it's kind of the worst. Maybe it would have been an effective vehicle like in 2013 or 2014, but now it is just completely outclassed by every single other vehicle. So definitely the Rhino tank, not a great idea. Again, it just doesn't compete when it comes to sort of the other vehicles we've got. One common mistake I've seen a couple people in this thread make is changing their business name. So if you change your business name to whatever it is, something silly or something wacky, if you want to get it back, it's $250,000. That is a lot of money just to change some font and some text in a digital office. I mean, man, talk about a cash grab right there. That is like the definition of it. So hopefully you guys haven't made that mistake. I have not. My in-game company name has just been Boss Corp, and I've kept it like that since day one. So fortunately, that has not been my biggest mistake, which I'm kind of thankful for. Another thing I've seen is upgrading vehicles. Now, I've seen two instances of this. So the first instance I saw is replacing like a $1 million vehicle with a stock car in your garage because someone thought it would actually put it on the street as an active car. That is definitely a mistake. Let's say you have like a Progen T20 that's over $2 million and you replace it with a car you either found on the street or something like that. They don't really give you a whole lot of warning. I mean, they tell you it'll be replaced, but if you do it the first time, it's just sometimes you might overthink it or it happens so fast and you end up switching it. And once again, there's no takebacks there, so that's kind of unfortunate. And another thing I've seen is players upgrading to vehicles like custom variants and not having the options to go back. So a couple examples I saw of this was with the Itali GTB and Itali GTB Custom. For those of you guys that don't know, the regular version of that car has a little bit better performance, so there's no way to like reverse the upgrade, so you'd have to sell it or then rebuy it, which is kind of unfortunate if some players don't know that going in. Another big mistake I've seen from Haddock181 is buying 3 large special cargo warehouses. Now, I have made the exact same mistake. I thought that when the Finance and Felony DLC came out, I was going to need all the room in the world. I was going to need 5 large special cargo warehouses, so I bought all 5. And it turns out you really don't need more than like 2 large ones, maybe 1 large and 1 medium. You really don't need all that much space unless you're just a hoarder. You're going to stock up all 5 and then you're going to sell them at the same time, or at least back to back to back. I don't know anyone who does the CEO stuff like that. So the large warehouses, you definitely don't need all of them. It is certainly a waste of money to have 5, which is what I have. I think that kind of comes in as second place is the biggest mistake that I've ever made. Now, I've seen a lot of people writing suggestions like the MC Clubhouse or the bunker stuff, but I personally enjoy all of those. I think the biggest mistake that comes with buying them is the fact that you have to deal with the random phone calls that you get, whether it's from LJT or Ron or anyone like that. But I personally think the MC businesses have been a good investment for me. Same with the bunker stuff. The hangar stuff, maybe not so much. Obviously, you need the hangars to store the vehicles, so the work you can do in them kind of comes secondary. You don't have to buy like a second place, like a warehouse or a business or anything like that. But at the same rate, I still can see where some people just may not use them at all anymore and can kind of see it as a big waste of money. But by far the biggest mistake I've ever made, and I've only seen this a couple times in this thread. This happened all the way back in 2015, I believe, with the Ill-Gotten Gains DLCs Part 1 and 2. And that was buying the Swift Deluxe and the Luxor Deluxe at full price. So I think the Luxor Deluxe is $10 million. The Swift Deluxe is like $5.5 million. So I spent $15.5 million on golden painted aircrafts that literally only allow you to sit in the back, smoke cigars, drink champagne, and access the internet. You can access the internet on your phone. You don't even need a place like that. You can smoke cigars, I think, in other areas. I know you can drink champagne and stuff like that in your apartment. So they literally just took some features from other areas, put it in the back of a plane, painted it gold, and called it $10 million and $5.5 million. And in order to enjoy that, you have to have a pilot, like someone that wants to Uber you around. And you also can't go in passive mode either. There's nothing weaponized about those planes, yet you can't go in passive mode. Probably the biggest waste of money I've ever had. But when Rockstar announced that and you saw the price, you were like, oh my God, $10 million for this jet. This has got to be the coolest thing ever. I wonder what cool, unique features they have for it. But the answer is sadly none all that impressive. So anyways, those are all the mistakes I'm going to be going over with you guys today. What is the biggest mistake you've ever made in Grand Theft Auto Online that's cost you millions, if not more dollars? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments section down below. If you did go on to enjoy the video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.